Alrighty, so it looks like we are getting into our first match.
Yeah, Dot himself has been recently saying, like, CP9 is going to be top 50 this year
Yeah.
with all of our, I'm vindicated.
Yeah, he did say that. And
yeah, in the commentary Discord.
yeah, we saw that, and everyone just, like, shrugged it off. Like, no one responded.
It's just fine.
But with Ivysaur Kirby, looks like we're going to have Rashida Jones.
And Cookie. Cookie, obviously the Kirby.
I don't know. This is going to be more slow-paced, I would hope, just because of the aerial pressure that has to be ensued, especially
if
with
it's not
Ivysaur.
slow-paced, that means one of these guys is not respecting someone
Exactly.
else, which sometimes works really well, and sometimes just means like, I keep running in, and why do I die?
Yeah,
fine.
and it's really going to determine basically onto the punish game. I feel like matchup-wise, it's going to be more into Ivysaur's range. Definitely a big, prominent character.
Large disjoint, something that Kirby traditionally struggles with. Both that projectile, but then also just the amount of different areas you put behind is so good.
Exactly. But with an up throw, I mean, not going to be able to cover it. So a good way to clarify, if you look at Meta Knight's up air, just slightly worse, sending up higher. Now, there is a confirm off of side B, which is the hammer, but that does work at lower percents.
Ooh, aggressive side cutter. Doesn't really get anything off of it, and then gets forward smashed instead.
Yeah, and it really is going to depend more on Kirby's neutral rather than anything else, because Ivysaur, with more of a prediction to win the matchup overall, the neutral exchanges that we have to see from Cookie's Kirby with side cutter, with forms of drill, I don't think dash attack at low percent is the best.
Yeah. Kirby has to be way, not more aggressive, but he has to be more like decisive with his spots. Ivy's tools allow her to like throw out safe hitboxes, wait for you to whiff, do everything like that. Kirby has to force his spots, and if you don't get a read, you get stuff.
And we see that a lot.
Okay, he's gone for like 3. Okay, never mind. I was gonna say he's gone for like 4 inhales and none of them have hit until I started saying that none of them hit.
So there have been a lot of down throw conversions that we have been seeing from Rashida. Not really going into the kill, but one of the big reasons why we've been seeing a percent lead until now. Some corner pressure coming out from Cookie to making sure that he can get those neutral wins, and possible kills being down throw up smash. Yeah,
went for it, got shielded. Ooh, that Razor Leaf to cover the drop down is very smart.
Oh yeah, and
if the person's not respecting your spot on the ledge, just go for it.
Yeah, and it's just making sure that you can play off of your general positioning. A lot of times we see with Ivysaur's big use of Seed Bomb, back air, even fair just to cover out any form of aerial possibilities.
All right, he does have a full Solar Beam on lock now.
Yeah.
Something you don't usually say about Kirby, but whatever.
Yeah.
I have no idea what confirms in the Solar Beam from Kirby's side, so we're going to find out. But he's been going for so many inhales that I've got to imagine he either has some ideas or he's just like, this is a great tool for me to have. I want one of those like super moves, the moves that can kill at 50%.
And I think that is one of the decisive tools that you really have to determine, especially playing as Kirby, who has a lack of
good kill options.
Yeah. But I would have to say, once again, as you said, it is that decision-making that we've seen earlier.
Okay, I was wondering if up throw was going to confirm, or down throw, sorry, but it did not at that percent.
Oh yeah, and going for that back air in one of those big qualities that we've been seeing from top players, or Kirby players like Yador, is definitely the decision-making from aerial pressure, from ground game. Oh,
All
yeah.
right, Cookie up more decisively than earlier in the game. Gets another one on deck. One of the beauties about stealing Ivy's power is that you just get it.
Yeah.
You don't need to charge it. He's now had 2 more Solar Beams than Rashida has.
Yeah. But still missing that previous Solar Beam with the percent lead, though. So seeing how he can decide off of very mid percent up throws.
What I did like, and something I hadn't thought about, is that a lot of the spots that Solar Beam hits are places that Kirby has a hard time covering usually. So Kirby wants you to DI out so he can follow you, or he wants you to DI up so he can juggle you. And if you go diagonally, he doesn't really have great options, and that's exactly where Solar Beam is going to hit.
And it looks like there has been a big problem in just neutral coverage from aerial to ground. Probably, I would have to say, Ivysaur's strongest qualities from the mid-range. Things like down tilt, forward tilt, even just Razor Leaf not being used in probably the most optimal situations.
I see a lot more fading back airs, a lot of that kind of stuff.
Exactly, and it's no form of like warding off, which is what we see a lot of the time, especially with like
Dares to
Ivysaur.
Cancel. Oh.
Because it's a lot of warding off into a later hit confirm, and a lot of the time it looks like that Rashida is having problems in recognition of where he is on the map and what he needs to do to really cover the options, especially with a character like Kirby, who could honestly, what I would assume would be most likely into the air.
Right, yep.
But definitely looks like Cookie having fun with the match. We're going to go to Smashville for the second game. I'm very curious as to why this would be. Maybe it is just more...
I think it might just be a comfort pick. I don't see this as being like amazing for either player. Certainly not bad for either character, but you know what? I never discount the comfort pick.
Yeah, and I would have to say it's... On paper, it looks better for Ivysaur. One, just because of the demographic and the combo potential that it has, especially on floaties. Now the ceiling going to be slightly lower than what we see on Battlefield.
Up air, up smash.
Yeah, exactly.
That being said, we really didn't see a lot of those bold attacks come out. Rashida needs to work a little bit on healing.
Yeah.
There we go. It's the first time I've seen him do that. Maybe not the best time for it. But Ivy does have the potential to just heal back an entire stock after the game is done. You look at damage dealt and you're like, I could have won if that was any other character, but it wasn't.
Yeah. And Cookie, I mean, just being very confident in his horizontal pressure from side cutter. I think this is the 6th one that we've seen in the match so far.
Back air just sends Kirby flying.
Yeah.
All right, first time we've seen Rashida up with a full stock. Get something going. Yeah, there's a lot of these spots where I feel like there's follow-up to be found, and Rashida's feeling a little bit uncomfortable going for it. That being said, I feel like he's starting to get grooving.
Yeah.
We'll see if he's able to kind of take this energy and run with it.
And growing in that percent, he's obviously had incredible amount of options previously on the right side of the stage. We saw him go for a flop block situation, but I mean, not even converting off of any format of hits. Yeah, going to be locked out with 164. I mean, just building up percent at this point is your best plan, especially with a character like Kirby, who could die pretty easily off of the sides or the top.
Kirby extremely light.
Yeah, testing his pressure, especially, I liked that back air just to make sure that he had the correct spacing.
No, I thought we were going to see Vine Whip. All right.
Yeah.
Cookie needs to be a little bit more careful with side cutter. Rashida is starting to call it out, starting to say like, all right, fine, when you're high, you do side cutter trying to go above me. Let's just throw out my biggest hitbox.
Yeah. But it does look like Rashida is having a game plan so far, especially with Smashville. The lack of...
does have Solar Beam. First time we get to say that about the actual character.
Oh, yeah. And, I mean, still, with that stock lead, Rashida definitely sitting pretty. Oh, even though it was the soft hit back air, still going to launch with the full Solar Beam. This could be potential for a very strong lead. Oh.
Wow, just aggressive dash attacking. No, he hesitated. All right, but I guess you take what we can get. That was the wind box of charge.
It was a very awkward, trade.
That was the wind box of charge. Okay. I don't know if that was intentional by either person, but we take those.
Yeah, definitely. If a stock is a stock, yeah. Oh, and pulling together, I like the Rising Fair. A great tool for Ivysaur just to gain some more combo potential. Yeah, and still trying to limit those options. Once again, with Smashville, with the lack of availability of platforms, I mean, it's going to cause Kirby to be a little bit more committal in her approaches.
Yep, he's not able to do any dash attacks off the platforms, anything like that.
And still a very consistent crouch cancel onto those dash attacks.
I thought we were going to see Rashida go for the heal on the balloon.
Oh, yeah.
Sweet spot the balloon, it counts.
Yeah, and still playing very concise and careful for Rashida.
Yep.
Cookie having a big problem.
Rashida's really cleaned up his play in this last match. Very happy to see that.
Ooh, that was probably max range recovery at that point, but
Max range and gets the toes out of it.
and still onto the tether, making sure there is no form of drift back having to go towards the stage. It seems not going to catch out with down smash, getting a little antsy on to the options that he's choosing to kill.
Yeah, Cookie was trying. He was trying to go for the cheese.
Yeah.
Like, that's the like. Oh man, he's up a whole stock. What am I supposed to do? Throw him off stage. Try to get it down air right away. Everyone goes for it. I don't blame him at all. But if you know your opponent's going to go for something a little bit cheesier, usually the drawback of that is, well, I guess I'm just going to hit you then. Like.
Yeah, most definitely.
Yep. Cheese is great until the person knows it's coming. You can't make a meal out of it.
Most definitely. So it does look like Kirby being the second lightest character that we're seeing. So with the launch that we're seeing previously with the back air that was landed with Rashida dying off the side incredibly early. I mean, it was around 90 to 110, but I mean, it was a launch from left dying on the right side of the platform. I think you're going to see a lot of help, especially on Delfino's. Yeah, opting for some form of coverage, making sure that with this new PMBR style of Delfino's, it becomes a tri-plat stage, something that we saw success with Cookie previously, making sure that he can stay strong in his merits, especially with a majority of trades that have been going on so far. With 30 seconds already going by and 30% dispersed between both, I mean, this is looking like it is going to be...
It's going to be buckle in, folks.
Yeah, exactly.
We're going for a ride.
Oh, yeah, but that side cutter, that approach is becoming slightly more monotonous. Hopefully Rashida, especially with how well.
And last game, Rashida was really calling it out.
Yeah.
There was a lot of side cutter specials that Rashida's just like, well, if you're going to keep doing it,
Yeah, I guess.
Let's put this hitbox out here. It's one of those things. It's great as a surprise burst movement. It's terrible as a consistent form of movement.
Yeah. Super unfortunate recovery coming out from Rashida, and that is going to call that stock so far. And just trying to derive and gain more stage control, but double L tilt not going to call it out. 136 almost going to die off the side, even on the second hit of back air. Yeah, just playing it safe. Cookie definitely trying to hold on to this lead as much as possible.
Okay, that's now been a few times. He's gotten punished in different ways for it, but a few times that Cookie's gone for a hop over inhale. And Rashida's just kind of being like, well, I guess I'm going to grab you. I guess I'm going to do whatever. I want to see call it out harder, actually.
Yeah.
Cookie was at about 150. If he just said, like, well, fine, let's do, like, a dash back up smash or something.
Yeah, and honestly, just trying to figure out how to get these kills earlier, probably, and limiting yourself to only a specific few options, it looks like. Rashida only using one seed bomb throughout the set, which I would have assumed would have been probably one of the greater tools, especially when covering any form of aerial control. Yeah. Down tilt, though, I do like the coverage going into that flop block, making sure that there is no form of movement afterwards for Kirby.
I mean, the flop block is a full...
Yeah, or I mean, you have to keep going for it.
Yeah, no, he's getting the belly hitbox,
Yeah.
though. So the flop block is a specific technique. Ooh. All right, he's been dashing in the last couple of times he's gotten down tilted or shielded. Might as well.
Yeah, and once again, playing it safe at 109 to 103. That side cutter, even though it landed, not going to be doing anything too specific. Yeah, looks like they're just trying to get it, or specifically Cookie trying to get in as many hits as possible. No really slow form of pace or just breaking down any form of habits. It's just going in with side cutter.
Yep, we are now at 3 minutes in at 3 stocks apiece.
Yeah.
So, okay, there we go. And that's now the 4th and 5th time. We've seen so many side cutters called out by back air.
Yeah, but once again, I mean, there are more options, especially with some format of these limitations. You have to be careful, especially because Cookie is laying it down so aggressively. Up throw, going, yeah, and this adds some form of potential for a full solar beam. Both characters
even if you
unlock.
don't hit the move, it still is now a different threat range that you didn't have before. It's something, one more thing to keep in mind while you're trying to find your spots.
Oh yeah, I do like the bullet seed interaction now.
All right, it's been a very consistent minute per, or 2 minutes per each stock. Based on my current math, we will be sitting here at, 1 minute left.
Oh, yeah, I'm trying to break it down.
Sometimes you get solar beamed because you missed one.
And you know what's good is that I'm still hearing the crowd just cheer for a majority of solar beams. So
solar beams are basically hype no matter what. They're hard to get.
Most definitely.
Both characters. You either spend a while charging or you get a couple combos, or you have to do a pretty, committal inhale.
And calling out onto the ledge with an 89%. I mean, Rashida Jones, a lot to work off, trying to build up as much percent as possible. It looks like,
trying to get something started. I feel like both of them are having a very hard time dealing with this combo weight.
Yeah. I think it was definitely more hard, I would have to say, for Kirby, and it's more lack of knowledge and availability of tools for Rashida. Yeah, trying to stall. Belly hitbox once again.
Yep. All right, stock apiece.
Yeah, and Cookie actually, I don't know,
Cookie's
seems very prideful.
Very high percent, but he's... I mean, that's the thing. He's sitting at a super high percent. Gets the wrong hitbox. That would have been it. He called it out, too. It's the same thing, the same situation we've been seeing over and over again.
Oh. And once again, just calling out that side cutter. I think after a moment, Rashida, clutching it out. He held his heart and he told himself, he was like, oh